Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to finish off showing off my Megahood, which is like 15 years after when you would start the game. The reason I want to do this is because a lot of people said they really enjoyed the video and it got a lot of love, so I want to just finish off what I started. A lot of other people also said they wanted to see the other neighborhoods, so if you do want to see the other neighborhoods, let me know. But this here is the Oldie household. This is Herb Oldie, his wife Cora Oldie, and their adopted son Lee Oldie. So when I start the Oldies, I always adopt a child for them because what the heck else are the Oldies up to, or what are they doing, honestly? Because they are the most boring to play, in my opinion, because they don't have anything going on other than the fact that Herb is cheating on his wife with, like, ladies. Okay? There's a lot of other people that are doing the same thing, so what makes him different? Nothing, really, other than the fact that now he is an adopted child. So, yeah, Herb is actually 91 days old. He is right at the end of his life bar because I've stated it before, but I play with a custom lifespan. So, like, it adds on days to the lives of the people who, are already in the game when you start and things. So, I have that in here, and so he probably won't make it another round, which we're in round 4. So he probably won't make it through round 5, of course, but yeah. So Herb has definitely seen his way around town, let's just put it that way. So I'm going to go through and kind of show you all of everything that's going on with him. And you're going to see a lot of stuff in here. So this is his son, first of all. His name is Lee, by the way. And his wife, Coral. Yeah, Coral actually last round, in the beginning of round 4, was really inferior, oh my goodness, with Herb. And so that relationship was not doing so well. It was actually doing really horrible. And they have also adopted one of the critter animals. This is Sarah Critter. She's actually one of the 2 critter dogs when you start playing with the critter from the bin. This is Sarah, and she's the one that's actually pregnant. She's the one that has the puppies. So they have actually adopted her, and I think she's a cute little fit for them, though she is a menace because the critter puppies are very destructive when you start playing with them. So she has a lot of needs for, like, people to scold her for doing naughty things and stuff, and, like, she tears the house apart pretty much. So these guys, the Oldies, have a lot of work to do for her, but it does give them something else to work on. Other than just raising a kid, they also are raising a dog that is a menace. So that's interesting. So as we all know, Herb is a romance sim, and he likes to sleep, well, woohoo, I guess, with a lot of different women. He wants to have 20 simultaneous lovers. That's never going to happen, okay? I'm just going to put that out there right now. That is never happening because he is so old. He has no more time to do so. So, throughout his years that he's been living here in Pleasantview again, since he moved in from wherever he was before, he has since then fallen in love with Jan Tellerman, Cynthia Kim. He has a crush on Dina Goth, and he has met quite a few of the people here. Obviously, not all of them does he like or even really know at all, but he definitely knows a lot of people in Pleasantview, and that's just interesting in itself. So he wants to public woohoo with 3 different sims. So I don't think that's going to happen. So I'll lock in woohoo in the bed because he can actually do that with his wife. So when we came into this household in the last round, which was round 4, his Coral had found out that he was cheating, and she started slapping him and everything else. And they actually were not doing so hot. And you can see that he has the memory from getting caught cheating by Coral. So he wasn't doing so well, but he had already went on a ton of dates with all these other women and woohooed with all these other women, and things were just getting crazy because, well, it's crazy. is really crazy to think that this old man is literally getting so many different women. But yeah, so he's got memories of like having affairs with all these different women, going on dates with them, making out with them, woohooing with them, meeting all the people. He also has memories of like Lilith and Angela going to college and cheating with Cynthia and having an affair with Dina. Just all of it, okay? And this isn't the first time he's got caught cheating by Coral. This is actually the second time he's got caught cheating by Coral, because he was having an affair with a girl named Krista here in the house. I'm not sure where Krista is. I don't even, oh, right here, Krista. So what happened is he used to work in the slacker career, I believe, and she like came home with him after work, and he started flirting with her and got caught by Coral. And so Coral had already caught him once. The second time she caught him, well, things were not looking so good for him. So yeah, but all of these people are like growing up well, and things are looking really good for everybody. He also did retire. These are all his memories. So like Lilith grew up badly, and then he's meeting some people, and then, he adopted Lee, and we adopted Lee as a child. And then he had a great party. He had that affair with that Krista girl, like I told you, and then got caught, and then lost Coral as a friend. She decided to give him a second chance, and then this is like when Angela got an A, and then, he got a job in the... Oh, I guess it wouldn't have been from a coming home, because that's when he got the slacker career. Oh, that's interesting. I guess she must have just been a friend that came over. I'm not really sure. Then he had an affair with Tara Cat, and he had an affair with Dina. He went on a date with Dina. He made out with Dina. He wooed with Dina. Had a dream date with Dina. Then he had an affair with Cynthia Kim. And he went on a date with her, made out with her, woohooed with her. She is married as well. And then he also had an affair with Jan Tellerman, kissed Jan, made out with Jan, had a great date with Jan. The girls grew up and went to college. Lee got an A. He quit his job in the slacker career because things at home were not doing so good. I think it was because of the fact that there was tension between him and his wife for the fact that he kept bringing home ladies and woohooing with them, and it was not going well. Then he went out on a date with Coral to try rekindling the flame with her, and they ended up like not woohooing, but like falling back in love with each other. Then he went on a date with Jan and wooed with her. Then, Coral caught him again, and things were not great. She pretty much was furious with him and didn't want anything to do with him. And then eventually he went on another date with, I think it was Tara again. Yeah. And woohooed with her, got her pregnant, and had a kid with her named Asher. And all of this has happened since, of course, like having Asher and stuff happened when Tara was like we were playing her household. So he doesn't even know, but Tara's no longer with us. She passed away. So that's interesting. But he doesn't even seem to recognize that. But yeah, when we played these guys, Coral kept getting wishes to like flirt with him, with Herb, and kiss him and all this stuff. So they have officially rekindled that flame. So yeah. So if I show you the family tree, you can see this here is Herb and this is Coral. If you don't know, they did adopt, and it's part of the storyline that they adopted Mary Sue Pleasant, which is Daniel Pleasant's wife. And that would make them the grandparents of Angela and Lilith Pleasant. And then they obviously adopted Lee Oldie. And then Coral doesn't know, but he did have a baby with Tara Cat, who has passed on. She actually died of childbirth, which is so sad. So he has a baby named Asher, and Asher is actually in the orphanage because Herb is so old and he would never want to bring a baby into the home this late in life, but also because he doesn't want Coral to know that he cheated again, especially if they just rekindled the flame for the second time. And honestly, I don't think Coral could do it again. Like, I think that she, at this point, would just toss him to the curb, make him sleep outside in this tent that we bought at one point because he literally wasn't able to sleep in the bed, so we had to give him something. So on to Coral. Coral here, oh, she wants to resurrect Tara. She has no idea, but that's so sad. So Coral here, she's a faithful woman. She's a family sim, so she doesn't really cheat. She wants to graduate 3 children from college. So she'll probably never get that because they don't technically have 3 children. They only have Lee and they have Mary Sue. So she will never, ever, ever finish her aspiration. But she's very proud of the 2 kids that she does have, which is Lee Oldie and Mary Sue Pleasant. I'm pretty sure she has a good relationship with Jennifer Burb. Yeah, so Jennifer Burb is Daniel Pleasant's sister, and she's good friends with her. But you can see she doesn't really know Mary Sue or Daniel anymore because I think after everything that happened with Mary Sue and Daniel with Lilith, I think Coral was really upset at the fact of the way they treated her and the way that they raised her, and so they kind of just let their friendship dwindle, and she's only really stayed in touch with Jennifer, which Jennifer is the aunt of Lilith because of Daniel. So I just feel like Jennifer would have all of the like little tidbits of information. So she's got to keep her, know her knowledge of what's going on over there, of course. But she also doesn't want to be like trying to befriend them because she's really upset with them. Is it a mistake to be angry this like late in life? Yeah, probably, because she's probably never going to become friends with Mary Sue or like forgive her before her time is up. She's at 90 days, so she's just a couple of days behind Herb, but they're still kicking. I'm really surprised, honestly. And then she does want to resurrect Tara, so that's a pretty sad moment right there. She also did, in the last round, reach the maximum enthusiasm in the film and literature, which is her hobby. So she is into the film and literature stuff. She also sold a great novel. So she got this plaque for maximing the enthusiasm with it. She learned some couples counseling and stuff. I don't know. Maybe that's her trying to say she wants to help Mary Sue and Daniel like fix whatever's going on there. I don't know. She also became best friends with Sarah. So I consider Sarah to be Coral's puppy. But eventually, obviously, if when when Coral and Herb pass away, Sarah will have to live with Lee because who else is going to take care of them? She also did have, she recognizes that she has a couple new grandkids. She's always got these unfortunate events of catching her cheating constantly. She also did fight that lady, Krista, that she originally found Herb cheating with. But she lost that fight, which is unfortunate. So yeah, she's got a lot of negative moodlets, but then they kind of get better later on. She just keeps meeting a lot of people, honestly. And I'm there for it. She's also making a lot of friends, which is kind of nice. So if we look at her friends panel, she's now back to pretty good standing on a daily, not like lifetime, but like a daily standing with Herb. She also is friends with Lucy Burb, which is Jennifer Burb's daughter, which is Daniel Pleasant's, which Daniel Pleasant is her son-in-law, so it's his niece. So kind of like a family member. She also knows a couple of the other ladies around town and has become friends with them, but mainly just focused on Jennifer and Lucy because they're going to be able to get information about like Mary Sue and Daniel and what's going on over there without having to go over there themselves. And then obviously she probably was friends with Tara, but she doesn't even know that Herb and Tara wooed behind her back and had a baby named Asher. So she has no idea about Asher. She doesn't know. Obviously it's in the family tree, of course, but only when you click on Herb. So if you look at her, you would have no idea that she has like a, I don't even know what that'd be called, stepson, I guess. Then you have Lee, the little guy that they adopted. As a child, I was a little concerned for his looks, but I think he's grown up and become more handsome as he's aged up, so I'm happy with that. He does want to go off to college, and he will, but I think he'll go to college here in like the town because his mom and his dad are not going to live much longer, unfortunately. He does know quite a few of the girls around town, so he knows Tina Traveler. I think he's the only sim that I know of that finds her attractive, so I'm pretty happy about that because they have 3 bolts together. I'm really hoping something's going to come up for that, but it hasn't yet. He is a fortune sim. He also knows Lucy Burb, but they're not friends yet, and he also knows like a couple of townies. I think this girl here is like, the next time she's on a lot, she's going to age up to a young adult or whatever. She knows some of the boys. She also knows some of the kids in the orphanage, which I think is kind of intriguing because Gallagher's in the orphanage with Asher, and Asher's last name is eventually going to be Oldie. So that's interesting. He also knows Don Lothario, of course, and Bottom Gossamer. He actually wants to go out with her, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe he, is trying to become friends with her. Who knows what's going on there? And yeah, so he knows like Lilith and them, but doesn't really like know them. I need to kind of work on getting him a little bit more friendly with maybe Mary Sue or something, or maybe that's something that'll happen. Like they'll rekindle, like they'll become better friends after their parents pass. Who knows? But then they just have Sarah Critter. So yeah, that's that. And then I will show you a little bit of the makeover that I did. So I tried to go with something that was kind of like, I don't know, old person vibes, and a lot of like older people had very interesting, I guess would be the word, wallpaper. And so we did this big pink flowers because I thought Coral would have done it. Coral's favorite color is pink, so she colored the house in these big flowers. She got some nice sofas and some rugs. There's like this stand here with this is like a little, like a statue, and then the radio. They've got the TV. This is the kitchen, so it's the original items that come with the country style set, but I just got recolors of it. And then this is where their phone is. This is like a little mod that I have. This is their kitchen table, and then the dog's food. I did also change the back garden. So this is the hot tub that I give to all my romance sims. They've got a little garden going through themselves, and I totally forgot about this. So a lot of it is actually dead, which is fantastic. We've got a little tent, and there's like a bookshelf. They got this piano from one of the dates. I think Tara Cat honestly gave it to him from the date that they went on recently that she got pregnant with Asher on. This is their bathroom, so it's just orange. I don't know why I went with orange, but I did. I just really like it. The bedroom, again, the flower paint, and then they've got like a green color on their bed and green rug and stuff in here. She's got her plaque, and then they have like a what is this? It's like the application that you get for benefits through the city. And then they have the only computer that is in the home in here. They've got some flower things from when Herb and Coral used to be going out. They have a TV in here, and then this is their son's room, Lee. He has like a desk and a bed, and he also has a TV in his room. He's got like the little toy chest, and the dog sleeps in his room as well because he didn't really have any other place for Sarah to sleep, so that's where Sarah sleeps. So yeah, that's that for these guys. The next household I will show you guys is the Burb household. So I'll be back in just a second. Alrighty, so here we are with the Burb household. This is not what I was trying to show you. The Burb house. The house. Okay. Anyways, the house is here. It is actually a house that I built myself, I think. I think I built this myself from scratch. And the reason I built it is because the Burb household, if you know John and Jennifer, they love to have the babies. So I needed a bigger house. They were in like one of those small starter houses. I don't know if I can show you it from this angle. Um, it's like one of the houses over there somewhere, I think. Uh, It's like one of these houses over here. I'm not really sure exactly where it is looking at it from here, but yeah. So it was a very small house and they really, really, really needed more space. So I built them this house. And I think it's nice. It doesn't have any landscaping yet. Okay, don't come for me. But I did what I could for them because they needed a lot of space. So I'm going to show you the house first and then I'll get into the story of the family and everything that's going on with them. So on the bottom floor, we'll start there. So you come in, it's just the staircase. I want to put some rugs in, maybe put like a chair in the corner or something with like a little thing here for the phone and, you know, maybe like a shoe thing and a rack to put like your coats on when you come in. But they've run out of money. They're only at like 1,700, so I don't want to spend all their money. They have bills and things that do come out as well. So that's that. This is the master bedroom. This is where John and Jennifer sleep. This is a very beautiful room. They have like this brown tan color on the walls, just some like flowers on their bedding, and then they do have their own personal bathroom, of course, here. And some of this furniture did come from their last house. We did pack all their furniture up and bring it with us, of course, because if they're poor, they don't want to buy new furniture. They're just going to bring what they have anyways and just sell the house in general. They had a very small house. I think I turned it into a 3-bedroom, but it was a very tight 3-bedroom, okay? They had barely any space. So they really have a lot more space here, which is kind of nice. This is the living room. It's got plenty of seating for the full family. We need to put a rug down and stuff in here. Cynthia's still here because we had a party. The baby can be down here with them. They've got like a radio on the floor, which I want to get a better radio for them. They have a bookshelf and stuff, a TV, a very small TV, but a TV. This here is the kitchen dining room combo. So it's like a, you know, kitchen over here with like a little island and the refrigerators here. And then this is actually just a toilet because I figured if you really had to go to the bathroom while you're cooking, you wouldn't want to run all the way to a bathroom. So you could just wash your hands here. Just go potty, wash your hands, get back to cooking kind of thing. That way you're also close to the stove. So if anything goes wrong, you'll know. Also, they have like a dining room table here. It's not centered, of course, because I think I was having an issue with something, but it doesn't really matter if it's centered or not, really. I mean, I'm probably going to move it so it is centered, but it's okay where it is at the moment. There's also this like door to the backyard, which we're going to put some like stuff out back for the kids, but that is definitely just the bottom floor. Once you go up the stairs, you do have this landing here, and you can kind of see this is the landing. It just kind of loops back around. There's like a little section here that I've put some toys on for the kiddos to play with. John is obviously playing with one of the kiddos, and that's that. We have a little bedroom here for Zachary. He sleeps here, and he just aged up, I do believe, and he got himself a bunk bed or like a loft bed, whatever you want to call it. I will have another bed underneath, hopefully, eventually, for another sim to sleep on, because it would be really nice for them to be able to do that. And then this over here in this room is a nursery. This is where the little kiddos sleep. And then this here is Lucy's room. So Lucy has her own room because she is a teenager, of course, and she definitely needs her own space. So she's got her own room, and I'm not sure how much longer she has before college. And then this is where like the kids' shared bathroom is. It's upstairs in the back corner, just so it's not like in your face when you're coming in. But it's a very functional home. It works very well. It's very beautiful. It does need some work, of course. It needs more furniture. It needs more decorations. But, of course, right now, with the money that we have, it's pretty decked out, in my opinion. Like, I'm not disappointed. I'm actually pretty happy with it, and I'm happy with how it came out. And it works really well for this family. So if you don't know the Burbs, well, there's John and there's Jennifer. And John and Jennifer are pretty much polar opposites. So John always wants to have kids because he is a family sim and he also wants to reach a golden anniversary. But he always is always wanting to have a baby. Even when, things are crazy and hectic, he will still roll up to have another baby. Even if he has 70 toddlers in his home, he'll still roll a wish to have a baby. He is insane. And his secondary aspiration is romance, which is weird, right? I know. So then you have Jennifer, his wife, who is a fortune sim. She's very focused in on her job. She wants to become the best at her job, which is never going to happen because I have that mod. Education is good, which makes it so if they don't have a degree, they can't get to the top of their career. Unless it's by chance or luck that they get a promotion. So right now she's at business level 1, and I'm not sure why she's at level 1 unless she got fired or something. Let's look at her memories. I can't remember her getting fired, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Did she get fired? No, she passed out. What else is there in here? I don't think she got fired. This is like way back when she was little. So, yeah. But anyways, so she's level 1, I guess, and she wants to get a promotion, so we've probably been working on that for her. Of course, I don't remember exactly everything, but she is a fortune romance, so if she has an advancement thrown at her from another man, she's going to take it because, 1, she's a secondary romance sim, and 2, because she's not a family sim. The only people that are safe from ever flirting or cheating are my family sims. They never cheat, they never flirt unless they have secondary romance, which I just think is kind of still saying that they're really genuinely just into being romantic with their significant other, not with like rando people off the street. So probably still wouldn't allow them to like do advances. So unfortunately, since she is a secondary romance sim, I think the whole thing of John always wanting to have babies kind of irks her because she really, really wants to get to the top of her career, but every single time she's pregnant, she doesn't go to work. So she never advances in her career and she never makes more money and she never gets a promotion. So obviously they had Zachary, and when you start, they have Lucy. She's a child, and they ended up having Zachary. And then, Lucy grew up, and it was a good birthday, and she grew up. She's a very smart, brilliant girl, and Lucy's got her own story going for her, but so she just was starting to make friends with people in the city, and then, Lilith and them went to college and aged up and everything like that. Well, then, John always wants to have more kids, so he always takes her out on these beautiful dinners, these beautiful dates, and she met Don Lothario on one of them, and he kind of wormed his way into her life, and he ended up calling her for a date one night, and she didn't come over, but when I played this household, he came over to her house, and they had Boohoo in the bed upstairs while John was at work that night. So John has no idea that she's ever had an affair, and I don't think John has ever had an affair on her, honestly. So yeah, they had a date, and she's never really went back to him or like done anything else with him. It was just that one time, I do believe. But then she's had more dates with John and everything. She also eventually met up with a guy named Aiden, and it is this guy here, Aiden Miller. So I was playing a different household, and Jennifer woohooed with Aiden in a hot tub at a bar. I was not playing her. I did make her selectable when I seen it was happening, just because I wanted the chance of her like ending up having his baby or whatever, but she never got pregnant by him. And that was interesting to see because, not only is she had an affair with Don, but now she's had an affair with another man, and John doesn't have any idea about that one either. So that's interesting. I don't know if it's ever going to come out or if she'll ever tell him that she's had an affair, but that's how it goes. So then she found out that she was expecting, and this time she was expecting twins. She had 2 babies named Zyla and Ymir. That's these two kiddos at the bottom here. Then they decided that they needed a bigger home because, like I said, the other house is only 3 bedrooms and it was very cramped. Adding twins to a 3 small bedroom house is not ideal. So they did move here. They built their own house, and then Zachary had his birthday party and all of that. And some of the kids have grown up badly, but there's nothing that we can really do. Those are like Lilith and Angela's kids. They're not their kids. So if you're confused why they're having those memories, it's because it's technically Lilith and Angela have kids that are aging up and they're not growing up the greatest. And also these kids, which are Daniel's children, so it would be her nieces and nephews. But he has them again with Kaylin Langerack, so it's why, it's confusing. But she just knows that some of them aged up badly, so it's interesting. Anyways, so that is Jennifer, and Jennifer is still very focused in on her jobs. As you can see, she wants to have a promotion, but she also does want to woo, but she doesn't have any wishes for any other men at the moment. She wants to make money, and she wants to become the top of the business career, which, like I said, is probably never going to happen. She does have good relationships with all of her kids, which is kind of nice. So I'm pretty happy to see that. This is her relationships. So she only really has a crush on Don. She doesn't really have anything more. And then Aiden Miller is the guy that she wooed with in the hot tub at the bar. So that was interesting. Then we have Lucy. Lucy here is a teen now. She's very beautiful in my opinion. I really think Lucy is probably one of the prettiest pre-made Sims that you get when you start playing, especially Pleasantview, but The Sims 2 in general. I just think she's so beautiful. And Lucy, when she aged up to a teenager, she pretty much started talking to this guy named Juan, and she's brought him home from school a bunch, and all that good stuff. And eventually just ACR took over, and they just went in for the first kiss. Then they made out and stuff without me even doing anything there. She has also had a dream date with him. She's unfortunately wooed with Sid Roseland, and that's because of ACR again at a club, and it had nothing to do with me, but they ended up woohooing. Thank goodness she did not end up being pregnant, because that would be ridiculous and would make this so much harder. Then she has had she knows the births of people. She remembers moving into the house. She also, what is that? Oh, she got the exclusive access to the Desirable Discourse, which is for the film and literature stuff. She kind of takes after Coral in that aspect, which is kind of cool, because Coral is a family member, but a family member more so through marriage than, blood or whatever. And then she does know about the kids aging up badly, which is Kaylin Langerack's kids, but we'll get into that another day. So she is kind of in a relationship, but not fully in a relationship with this guy. She just keeps going on dates with him, and they keep kissing and things, and she keeps bringing him home from school. But I don't think that's who she's going to end up with in the long run, because I do try to get all of my Sims to get with people that they have 2 or 3 bolts with, not 1. 1 is yeah, they're okay. 2 is yeah, they're pretty good looking. And then 3 is they're extremely hot, So she doesn't have anyone that I can see that is 3 bolts for her, which is kind of interesting in the slightest. But hopefully she'll meet someone at college, because Lucy doesn't inherit the house because Zachary does. And Zachary is their second child. He's their first son, and I do matriarchy, so whenever I have a boy, that's who inherits the family the family home. And then the family funds get separated between the multiple different children. So, anyways, Zachary here is the second child. He's still a child, so not much is going on. He does, know his family, and he knows like his grandparents, his aunt. But I don't even think he's went to school yet because I think he just aged up before I stopped playing them. So he's never even went to school. So he's never even been able to interact or mingle with any other children in the town, so that'll take time, and then we'll kind of get a little bit more of a feel with him. And then the twins are Zyla, which is this little girl right here. I think she's adorable, and honestly, like, gonna be so beautiful when she ages up. She does have those big beautiful brown eyes, and she's got blonde hair, and her favorite color is green. But I think she is so cute. And then her twin brother is named Ymir. He's actually asleep, but again, he is very, very cute, and he is probably gonna be loved by many ladies in his life. But he is very adorable, and I love how cute he is. I can't wait to see them age up, but like I said, they just aged up from baby to toddler, so there isn't much going on with them at the moment. And then that's pretty much it. They are, let's see, what are they? They are Scorpios. I do keep all of my twins with the same zodiac sign now because I just think that's realistic. And Zachary is an Aquarius, so you can kind of see his personality here. And then you can see these guys' personality. So they're a little bit different. They're like opposites pretty much. Look at that. It's like flipped. That's impressive. I don't think we know their hobbies or anything yet, but we do know, like, hers is film and literature, and hers is music and dance, and his, we don't know. So yeah. So that's all of that. That's that family. I'm trying to think. Is there any other families that I have not covered? Obviously, like, I haven't covered like Kaylin Langerack, so I guess I could go over there and show you Kaylin Langerack's kids, because they're technically Daniel Pleasant's kids, and I could show you the dormitory, which has Lilith and Dirk in it. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to show you those two things for sure, and then I'll see if there's anyone else that I need to show you. Be back in just a second. Okay, so I am here with the dormitory, the Megahood dormitory, which is in the Pleasantview neighborhood. This is a dormitory that I built myself. It does need some tweaking, so please don't ask for it because it needs some work, but it has like pretty much everything you would need here on this lot. Like, I need to work through the double stove thing and the counters and all of that good stuff, but yeah. Anyways, so this is the dormitory. This is what it looks like. There's a bunch of dormitories upstairs that you can choose from, and obviously enough room where you can put like a crib in if you have Sims who need like a second bedroom or whatever. I actually have duplicated this and put it in my Veronaville as well. I probably will do that for a lot of the worlds and then just keep the Sims in their own neighborhoods. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So I'm not going to get into Meadow today because she's for a different part of the stories of the worlds. So we'll just go through the rest of we'll just go through these three and sake, of course. So this is Dirk Dreamer. He lives here in the dormitory because him and Lilith had a baby as a teenager. They had their daughter named Yamina, who lives here with them. So yeah, so Dirk is a freshman in school. He is about to finish his freshman year in 54 hours. So he is getting up there in, the school years. I don't know if he'll make it all the way through, but I'm sure he probably will. The nice thing about living here in these dorms is they don't have to be going to school to do so. Like, Yamina's obviously not in college, but she can live here, so it's kind of nice. It's a good place for my Sims to go when they have like kids at a young age, so on and so forth. So I really, really like that. And he's doing very well. He has not declared a major yet, but he is almost top of his bar again, so he'll definitely pass this semester and be a sophomore next semester, which is very good. Throughout his whole time here, he has obviously gotten a little bit of loans, but it's only 1,700 for the 2 semesters that he's already went through, so that's really good. He also brought his cat Sake with him from his dad's house, and the reason Dirk moved out of his dad's house, it's not because he's not inheriting the home, because he technically is. Him, Lilith, and Yamina will all be moving in there. It's because Darren and Cassandra are not done having children, and they needed the space. So they pretty much said to him, hey, why don't you go live in the dormitory with Lilith and your daughter so you don't have to continually pay child support? And Dirk was like, hey, that's actually a good idea. And so he moved in. Him and Lilith are still just friends. I didn't have the mod where when they age up to a young adult before they're someone that they're in a romance with as a teen, that they would keep that romance. So unfortunately they've lost their romance, but I am going to rekindle it because I just think that's kind of unfair. Like in real life, you know, when you age up out of being in high school, just because your significant other is still in high school doesn't mean that you like don't have feelings for them anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that's kind of silly. And so I'm going to have them fall back in love, of course, because that's kind of where it's going. And that's where they were. They were totally in love with each other in high school. So I'm going to just do the same. So you can see like he has a good friendship with her, but we need to build it up. He also has a really good like friendship with his daughter, which I'm pretty happy with. And he obviously knows a couple of the other people here. He doesn't really like Meadow, which is kind of interesting. I don't really know why. Not sure, but he has a really good relationship with his dad. They did spend some time together fishing before he had his birthday party, and he doesn't really know much about Cassandra because he didn't really live there long while she was there. And then he did adopt Sake from the animal shelter that we run here in the town, so he brought Sake with him, of course. Then we have Lilith here. I don't know why Lilith looks so angry, but she does. She's actually got a crush on Dirk, which is kind of interesting. It's probably from me trying to rekindle that flame between them while they've been here together. And so, yeah, so she's got a little bit of a crush on him again, which is really nice to see. She has a great relationship with their daughter, Yamina Dreamer, whom looks almost identical to Dirk, in my opinion. And then she knows Sake a little bit. She also is good friends with Tara Debatiao or Debatu, or however you say the last name. Everyone says it differently, honestly. And she's actually rekindled her friendship with her sister. They're not upset with each other anymore. She also has become friends with Gavin Newsom. And yeah, I really like that for her. She does have a couple of bolts with quite a few different people. She doesn't really know Darren or Cassandra because I don't know why. It's interesting that she doesn't know them. She also doesn't really have a friendship with her grandfather or grandmother or cousin, I guess it would be, from Lee. And she's not friends with her mom or her dad at all, but she's not mad at them anymore. She's kind of given up on that whole point in life of being mad at them. So that's kind of nice to see as well. She does also have some loans here, and she only has 400 in loans, so that's not bad at all, honestly. I'm really happy with how much they have saved or put towards their tuition, so that way they can, not leave here in complete and utter debt. She's not doing as great as he is in college, though. She is in the same semester as him. They're both a second semester freshmen, but they're both undeclared majors, so neither of them know exactly what they want to do, other than she just knows that she wants to become a celebrity chef and he wants to become a city planner. So those are their possible jobs later in life. I don't think that she has ever been romantic with anyone else, to be honest with you. I think it's just like cockroaches and things because, whatever. Moved out, had a fire, nothing. So lost a fight with Angela. Of course, they used to fight all the time. And then they had kids and they grew up and aged up and became proper adults. So she's the popularity sim and he is the fortune sim. And then they have their daughter, whom sleeps down here in this bed. She just pretty much took up one of the dorm rooms because she is a kiddo and she needs a bed now. She actually wants to play with her grandfather, and these are kind of her memories. So she wants to also be a friend. She's got the grow up aspiration. She just aged up to a child, so she's got a little bit of time. She's also a gifted kid, which is kind of cool to see. And she has a good relationship with both of her parents, which I'm happy to see as well. And she knows like Daniel Pleasant, whom would be her grandfather, and she also knows Mary Sue, which would be her grandmother. She also knows Zantara Broke, which would be her cousin because it's Angela's baby. She knows Cassandra and Darren, And that's because Darren is her grandfather and Cassandra would technically be her grandmother since they're married now. And then, Dustin Broke would be her like uncle because it's her mom's sister's husband. So, well, it will be eventually once Dustin and Angela get married, of course. So yeah, she knows pretty much the family, and she's a C student because, like I said, she just aged up, so she doesn't have much going for her at all, but she's getting there. She is also a Sagittarius, and these are like her personality traits. You can pause the video if you want to see them. Her her hobby, we don't know it yet, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. And then they did adopt, like I said, when Dirk lived with Darren, they adopted this cat from the orphanage, the animal shelter. I mean, his name is Sake. He is only 10 days away from being an elder, so that's kind of sad, but he is here with Dirk because Dirk is the sim who adopted him, which I kind of like. I don't know what that even means. What does that red paw mean? Mine. Okay. He considers the toddler to be his. Okay. So he just like knows all of them because, they all contribute to them. He doesn't have any like loves or children or anything. It's just him on his family tree. And he is in the showbiz career, and he also is Aries, and this is like his traits. So he's a pretty good cat other than being aggressive. That's the only thing that kind of irks me. I want him to be more in the center on that one, but the rest of it is fine. I don't really care either way, which way they go on the other ones. Just, I don't really think an aggressive cat is a good one for a family with children, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get him out of being so aggressive maybe and get him into being more like cuddly. So yeah, they live here. And then I just have, what was the other family I was going to show you? Oh, I was going to show you Kaylin Langerack. So let me go over there and show you them. All right, so here we are with Kaylin Langerack, and I'm not going to lie to you, I've already recorded this. So I'm going to do it again just for you guys, but yeah. So this is Kaylin Langerack, and so when you started the story, and I've said this before, I don't think she's a bad person. I just think she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and she kind of got into two bad relationships, one being with Daniel Pleasant and one being with Don Lothario, and she kind of got herself into a place where I don't know if they like promised her anything or if they made her believe that they were going to give her a good life, or they were going to, break up with their wives or their spouses or their fiancés or whatever to be with her. But she kind of got into bad situations, and it put her into a bad situation, let's be honest. So at the beginning, when you're playing Pleasantview, there's that little scenario that you play out with them where she sleeps with Daniel and Mary Sue's supposed to catch them. Well, Mary Sue never caught them for me, but it ended up being that Kaylin Langerack actually got pregnant by Daniel Pleasant. And so I moved her into the world, and she moved into a slum apartment by herself because she's not going to live with the Pleasants, and that's just not how I play it. She moved into the slum apartment because she was a playable sim who was NPC who was pregnant, and I wanted to play out her pregnancy and her life. So yeah, she got pregnant with him, and I never expected she would have the wild ride that she did, but yeah, we'll go over it. So she woohooed with Daniel, and she moved into her own place in the slums. She got a job in the education career because that's actually what she wants to do for a living. She wants to reach the top of the education career, which I think is a good fit for her. She really does love children, so it's very good, hence her being a family sim. But when she was doing that on her first day coming home from work, she got shocked by lightning, which was pretty scary because it's the first time it's ever happened for me in The Sims 2 that I can remember. So I was a little bit scared that she was going to die. And then she ended up getting a promotion to level 2 in her career. So she was making a little bit more money, and I was feeling like, okay, maybe we can get out of here soon after having the baby and things will be grand, and all that good stuff. So she ended up continually seeing Don Lothario and Daniel Pleasant, of course. And then she started meeting some of her neighbors that lived in the slum apartments, which one of them was Benjamin Long, whom she started to see romantically, which is a better fit, let me be honest with you, because Benjamin Long is obviously not in a relationship. He's an NPC, so he's not in a relationship with anyone. And I just figured, okay, this is better than her staying with Don Lothario or Daniel Pleasant, because those two are not good for her. They're romance sims. They don't want to make a commitment to her, even though they might have promised it. They're never going to go through with it. So that happened. She woohooed with Benjamin, but then she ended up having quads. She had Unity, Zayden, Yara, and Winter, which are these 4 children, and we will get into them in a minute. She struggled with raising them in a little tiny room, so she ended up having to apply for a mortgage. And the city did approve her for a mortgage because she had good standing, she had good credit, and she had never been in debt or anything. So she got the mortgage and she moved out. She moved here into this home, this trailer that she has bought, so that her and her kids could have a better place. Well, after she moved in here, she actually found out that she was expecting another bundle of joy, and it ended up being twins this time, Valentina and Wallace, and the father was actually none other than Benjamin Long. So she had babies with Benjamin Long after having the quads with Daniel Pleasant, which was a shock in itself. She did eventually, I guess, kiss Gabe, which I don't ever remember this. It might have been when I played somebody else and she was on the lot and she kissed him. I'm not sure. I don't remember this happening. So Gabe O'Mackey is for some reason in here as someone that she's kissed, and that's interesting to me. So I'm gonna have to look into that. She met some other people, and then her kids aged up badly because she was trying to raise 4 toddlers, 2 infants at the same time. Then it was the 6 toddlers all at one time. That's just too much. It was really crazy. If you don't believe me, it is definitely was live streamed on my Twitch channel, so you can ask anyone there that was there that day. It was a crazy day, and it was crazy raising all of them together. But anyways, that's pretty much that. She now has the wish to get married, which I think is really cool. She is an Aquarius, and this is her personality if you want to check that out. Her hobby is tinkering, which is the same as Cassandra Goth's. And we just went over the memories, and she is the family sim, and her secondary, I think, is fortune. Knowledge. That's what it is. Knowledge. Okay, so that's that with Kaylin. That's Kaylin's story. She wants to have a ton of kids, of course, because she's a family sim, and that's fine. But she does want to get married now, so I think we should settle down with someone, find someone she really is interested in. And when I was just looking through her personality, or her relationships, 3 bolts of gold, Gabe O'Mackey, I am surprised. So we might have to pursue that if Gabe is not in a relationship with anyone else. I cannot remember all of my Sims relationships. I'll be honest with you. I will try my hardest, but yeah, it's probably never going to happen. So looking at the quads with Daniel Pleasant, this is the first of the 4. This is Unity Langerack. Sorry that she's on the potty. This is what she looks like. She has the green eyes, the red hair, of course, from Daniel Pleasant, and the green eyes from both Daniel and Kaylin. They both have green eyes, and her aspiration meter is horrible. Okay, I'm be honest with you. She was a neglected nightmare. Okay, that's all I can say. She doesn't know her dad. She's never met him, which is kind of interesting because some of the other kids have met him, which is weird. She's never been to school yet. It's the first day of school is actually today. Well, it will be when I play this family again in the next round. But she's a C grade, of course. And then all 4 of the quads are gonna eventually be cancers. I haven't changed them all to cancer yet, but I am gonna do that, of course, because that just makes sense. But this is her personality, and then we don't know her hobby yet. The second of the quads is this kiddo right here. This here is Yara, and she is beautiful in my opinion. She's the blonde hair, the green eyes. She just sets herself out for goodness knows what reason, but she's very artistic-y looking to me, honestly. She is her hobby is in fitness, which I kind of think could be fitting for her. She's also gonna be a Cancer, of course. She actually loves her dad. They are good friends, better than she is with her mom. So I don't know. I could kind of see Yara moving out of her mom's house and moving in with her dad eventually. Just be like, if Mary Sue was to find out, of course, because I feel like Yara really likes her dad. And she really, really feels like upset that probably her mom and dad don't live together and she doesn't really get to see him very much. So I could totally see her moving out and moving in there. I just love these pajamas. They're so cute. All right, the third little girl from the quads is this one. The reason I left her for a little bit later is because she is the spitting image of Kaylin Langerack, but she's also up here on this bed, so it's a little harder to get to her. But yeah, so she also has green eyes. She has the black hair like Kaylin, so she's literally the spitting image of her. She's a neglected nightmare as well. Yara is the bothersome brat. I don't think Yara had a bad upbringing. I know one of them didn't. One of them did better than the others. Let's see. Okay, so it was Winter. So it was her. She actually didn't age up badly. The other three did. The other three grew up badly, but she grew up well. So that's interesting how she, like, did better than others. I don't know why that happened or what happened there. She does know her dad, but she doesn't really know like much about him. She just knows of him pretty much. She's also a C student, of course, and she is a Cancer, and her hobby is unknown still. Then we have Zayden. Zayden is the only boy for the quads that we have. He is here sleeping. He is a science hobby. And he's going to be a Cancer as well, believe me. This is his personality. And he does know his dad, but not very well at all. He just knows a little bit about him. He's talked to him a little bit, not much. And yeah, he is also a neglected nightmare. So that's that. Then we have the twins, which I told you are Benjamin Long's babies. So this little girl here, I think, is a spitting image of Kaylin Langerack. If I had to say so myself, she's got the black hair, the green eyes, and honestly, I just think she looks a lot like Kaylin. Like if I look here and I look here, I just see a lot of similarities between the two. She does know her dad, but she doesn't really like him, which I'm not sure why. They are Sagittariuses, and this is her personality, and we don't know hobby yet. And then her twin brother is Wallace. This is his personality. Again, I have to change the sign. But he does know his dad, and he actually kind of likes him. And again, he looks a lot more like his dad than his mom. But he does still have the green eyes. All of Kaylin's kids have green eyes. How insane is that? So this is him. He's actually really, really cute. And I love that he has longer hair. I just think he's really cute with that. He's got Benjamin's nose, I think. Like, I'm pretty sure that's his nose. Pretty sure. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of the kids gets the really long nose from Benjamin, honestly. The honker is going to be real. Okay? So that is all Kaylin Langerack's story. I think I've showed you pretty much everyone in the town that I think either starts in the town as part of the story or whatever. There are people like Jan Tellerman, who's an NPC, and Sandy Broody. They're kind of now mingled into the stories as well because of Don Lothario or somebody else in town. If you guys are interested in seeing those, I can definitely show you them. Also, Kaylin had a nanny pass away on her lot, so she has a memory of one of the nannies passing away. Her name was Karen, I think. But this is the new nanny. But anyways, so yeah, I think I've showed you everybody, like I said, in the town, or like had a story. Like Kaylin was tied into the story right from the beginning of the town. So I think I've showed you everyone now. So if you guys want to see the rest of the families, let me know, or another town. If you guys are interested in seeing another town, let me know what town. I'd love to show you guys some more of what's going on in the worlds 15 years later. Some of it hasn't been played quite 15 years because the fourth rotation is 15 years, I would say, about. So that hasn't happened quite yet. But if you want to see like Veronaville or anything like that, I do have some of them played as well, so I could show you guys those. So let me know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to check out my Discord channel, because if you do, I have all of my photos from there, so you can go back and look at all the history of all the photos that I've taken for all of my Sims as they've been aging up, and the big events that have happened in their lives, of course. Also, don't forget to check out my Twitch channel, where I do live stream this on a weekly basis, pretty much, at least one night a week out of the 3 that I stream. This is one of the things that I stream, so definitely check that out, and leave me a comment below if you guys enjoyed this, and give it a thumbs up, especially if you liked it, so that I know that you want to see more. And I will talk to you guys in my very next one. Thanks very much for watching.